Hey everybody. Today we are going to look at how the government changes and the government layoffs have affected Arlington, Virginia, specifically zip code 22207. Here we go. So we had a question come in from one of our clients asking kind of how the layoffs are affecting the real estate market, and they were asking specifically for this specific 22207. So I'm trying to answer all of these questions as we receive them statistically versus based on opinion, because the truth is nobody knows what's going to happen. So we look at the stats to see what the trends are and what's moving and what direction everything is moving. So we're going to dive into what statistically is happening in zip code 22207, which is in Arlington, Virginia, and see if we're starting to see some evidence of the market changing in a negative way for homeowners, or if there's any kind of shift that's starting to happen. So let's dive into the numbers and look at specifically what's going on. All right, so if you look at, this is from Bright MLS. Today is February 24th, I believe. Yes, February 24th. When I pulled these statistics, I just pulled them right before doing this video. So keep in mind that February statistics usually aren't totally calculated until probably about 10 to 15 days into the previous month by the time everybody puts in all of their information. So this is preliminary what's in the system right now. But let's look at what's going on. So the first number we want to look at is the number of new listings. This will tell us, is there an influx of sellers that are freaking out and flooding the market with a bunch of inventory? So you can see that in February of 2025, here is February of 2024. We were at 40 listings in this zip code specifically. And here in February 2025, we are at looks like about 25 to 28 listings. So the number of listings seems to be down. So there does not appear to be a panic of people putting their properties on the market. And remember, property values are determined by supply versus demand. So if there's more demand than there is supply, property values tend to go up. If there's an even amount of supply and demand, property values will tend to stay fairly flat or a slow appreciation. And if there is a higher supply than there is demand, then property values go down because the sellers are now losing that power and the buyers have the power. But it looks like there has not been a flood of inventory. Now, one thing to pay attention to is we're about to go into the spring market. So the media is going to start talking about, they already have, there was an article that I received from one of our clients that we're going to break down on this Friday's video. But one of the things they're going to start saying is that there's an influx of inventory hitting the market. Well, we're going into the spring market, so we're going to have an influx of inventory. This is from 2024, and if I pulled 2023, you'd see the same thing. So there will be an increase in inventory over the next several months as we go into the spring and summer market. But so far, comparatively, year over year, February does not look like it's increasing with regards to inventory. So the next thing we want to look at is how many sales have occurred. So inventory, but we still need to know what the demand is. Now, the sales have been down. If you look at February of 2024, there were 20 listings that sold. If you look at February of 2025, so far, it looks like there have been 12. Now, this isn't the full month. Today's the 24th. We still have 4 more days. This number will probably go up a little bit. How far up it's going to go, we don't know. I'll tell you that January was down as well. January, it looks like there was about maybe 12 that sold, and in January of 2024, it looks like there's about 17. So it's not a huge amount. I mean, we're talking 5 to 7 listings, but graphically, it's showing a little bit of a decrease in the demand. Now here, this could be why. If you get over here to, I'm sorry, I thought this was a different graph. Over here on months of inventory, so months of inventory is our absorption rate. And what the absorption rate is if we took all of the inventory that was on the market today, at the current rate of sales, how many months would it take for us to run out of inventory? In 22207, in February of, I didn't have absorption rate for February of 2024, but for March of 2024, it was about 4.5 months of inventory. February 2025, we're at a little bit over 6 months. So, and January was about 6.5 months. Now, we tend to see months of inventory increase in January just because it's that time of the market. February can start to flux, and then we start coming down into the spring market. So this could be a concerning preliminary warning that maybe we're going to soften a little bit in this market, or it could just be seasonal, and when March comes around, we'll be right back into these normal numbers. So I have to keep an eye on that and see what happens as February finishes, and then what happens with coming in March. As far as the sales to list price ratio, so in other words, when a property goes on the market, let's say it goes on the market at $1 million, where did it sell? Did it sell at 1,100,000? Did it sell at 900,000? What was that ratio? So you can see in January of 2024, the ratio was just over, it was between 100 and 101%, so maybe 100.02%. January of 2025, it was at 98%, okay? So there was a decrease there, but you can see in February of 2025, it was below 99%, but in February of 2024 is below 99%, but February of 2025, we're above 101%. So this just lets us know that properties are still in demand, and they're still going, if they're priced appropriately, they're going a little bit above asking price. Now, here's the reason I think that this month's in inventory over here is so high for this specific zip code, is because their median sales price is so high. You can see in March of 2024, the median sales price was 1.4, maybe 1.45, whatever that number would be in here. February of 2025 so far, it's been well above that. It's been like in 1.75 range. So the sales prices are not dropping. Median sales price does not give us an accurate understanding of what home values are. It's just a trend that we can watch to see if home values are dropping. But there's no evidence that home values are dropping in this market. There's no evidence that buyer activity is necessarily pulling away from the market. You know, these price points are pretty high, 1.6 to 1.75. That's pretty high, so that could explain why these months of inventory were a little bit higher, simply because the prices were higher this year. So to keep an eye on this, there's no evidence at this point that there's a flood of inventory coming on the market and that house prices are going to be dropping in 22207. There's also no evidence in our other market reports that this is happening, but we do need to watch it because this is a developing story to kind of see how this plays out in the DMV. All right, if you have any questions or you would like us to shoot this video for any specific region for you, please reach out to us. Let us know the zip code, let us know the city, let us know what area you want us to shoot these videos for so we can tell you what's going on in your specific market. All right, everybody have a great day. Please like and subscribe to get more of this information. And if you know anybody looking to buy or sell real estate in the Northern Virginia real estate market or invest in real estate, please let us know. We'll talk to you soon.